special edition of the Widnes Rugby Chat podcast. Mike Parsons is joined by Widnes Vikings General Manager Tim Holmes to answer your questions as submitted by the Vikings Voice initiative, which Mike is a part of. Tim goes through how the new club crest has been received, reveals why Debeau Performance were chosen as the new kit supplier, and addresses questions about player number 27 in the squad. There's a brief update on season ticket sales and further discussion over the club's plans ahead of 2026. This is recorded prior to the kit launch, where the Vikings will be revealing their new home and away strips for the new season.
Hello and welcome to this special episode of Vikings Voice question and answer session. I'm delighted to be joined by the Widnes Vikings General Manager Tim Holmes. Tim, it's been a busy few weeks, hasn't it?
It's been a whirlwind. Yeah.
New crest, new branding, fixtures been announced, kit launch coming up. Just tell us quickly how the last couple of weeks and building up to all of them events has been for yourself.
It's been exciting. It's nice to be involved in a period of change within the club itself. It's been one of a little bit difficult, if I'm completely honest, from a personal point of view. Obviously, crest having been designed before I've arrived, kit having been decided on before I've arrived. I've not really been involved in that process. So the board have done a great job in doing all of that and building that identity and that vision before I've arrived. I've just kind of leapfrogged on their vision now, and I mean, you know me, I like to pick a ball up and run with it, a bit like a dog with a bone, really. So it's exciting, and action's kind of what I'm about. So it's been good.
We'll start off with the new crest. Obviously, that's all been announced now and out. In terms of the detail and what's gone into it, having been at the club before, now you've come back. What's your feelings around that? Obviously, myself and James put a poll out there, and I think the response was really good and interesting. The new badge has just got the edge over the town crest. What are your views on that?
So it's a really interesting one, and for my era, obviously you know my background, a St Helens lad coming in. My memories of Widnes Vikings are that head, interestingly, and it's funny, I've been trying to get away from it, and my missus found a picture back in the archives of me as a player being Mr. October wearing the head, so it was very quick to kind of show me that when I had no beard and a lot more hair on my head. But in terms of the crest, I totally understand it, and kind of we had a conversation before in our normal Viking Voice forum about our first game. A lot of people associate the good times with that shirt, with that crest, so I get it. What I do like, and listening to Roger Harrison talk about the crest at the recent business breakfast, they've still incorporated that with Industria DTAT in the crest. So that's the reasoning for that, to still show homage to the crest, but also then bring on the modern twist, because we have to look forward. It's about acknowledging our past, knowing what we've done, being proud of what we've done. Like I've just said, funny about action, but it's now how we take that past with our pride and move forward as a people, as a club, as a town. That's what that crest kind of symbolises.
Yeah, and I think for me as well, like the old town crest, I suppose that's the older generation of fan, and obviously it's keeping that, isn't it, and moving forward with, you know, the new generation of fans coming through. I think the feedback of Roger's breakfast meeting that you had was fantastic. He certainly knows how to tell a story, doesn't he? He was probably the right man for that gig, wasn't he? Of how we keep our heritage but move forward with it. I think that was brilliant.
I believe our friend James Gordon gave him it was a Churchillian speech.
Yes, he absolutely did. He did. And
that was very much what it was. But it was the reason I liked it, and I know the reason James liked it, was the passion in it. And it was lovely to see a board member willing to show the humanistic passion of being a supporter. What they do as a board has to be a business, have to look at it from the best angle of the club and how they're custodians of the club. But you don't often see that raw passion. What was lovely was that, yes, like he's one of us, he's feeling it, because that's ultimately why I'm in the gig I'm in.
No, 100%. I totally agree with you there. Just moving on to the kit launch then that's coming up. A new kit supplier, Debeau, have I said that right?
Debeau, I believe.
Sorry, my apologies, Derek. I'll have to get that across.
We'll edit that.
Ultimately, why them? So
this is from, obviously I've had to go away and get advice on this because, again, decisions were made before I was kind of involved in the club. But the process was all done, put out to tender. People applied to be, our kit suppliers. And then it was all kind of reviewed. What was interesting was what the feedback that came back from the board was that Debeau had took the most time in researching the history of Widnes and wanted to incorporate that in the designs and also the demographic of the market, the people in terms of what we could sell, retail. They'd put the most effort into the pricing structure and how it would bring maximum impact to the club and work as a kit supplier. And that ultimately was the deciding factor over others. So that primarily was the reason that came out to me as to why.
I'm assuming as well, obviously there's a strong link between Widnes and Lee in modern times as well, and having Derek within the game, I suppose that helps you guys out in terms of any issues you may come across. It's a lot easier to liaise with them as opposed to maybe other suppliers. Is that fair to say?
That is fair to say. So the decision to go was a purely the business one, like I've explained there. But you're totally right. I've actually rung Derek today, my first kind of involvement in it in the leading up to kit launch. And you're right. It's lovely to speak to someone that understands it from both sides of the fence. Yes, he's running a business, he's using it as a kit supplier, but as an owner of the club, he knows the pressures that the club are under from a real point. He's in it day to day, and for years gone by has been having these same issues with suppliers. So it's lovely to hear someone understanding the fraught and the pressure, and then also having solutions to come up with the answers.
Absolutely. There's in the release, in the article, a lot of people have picked up and noticed that it's the club have put out that it's the biggest deal of its kind with a supplier, a kit supplier. What's that actually entail? Because that was put out, and I'm all for being big and bold, but there was no detail around that. What is the detail? Is that a money value? Is it the partnership? What does that look like?
I believe from that point of view, it's a service. Right. It's the level of service. We will have quick turnarounds, i.e., because I've said to you downstairs, my dream would be lovely if we launch this kit on Monday and we sell out. If we sell out on Monday, it's a lot. The relationship we have now with Debeau means that we could fully restock that shop really quickly, which is very unlike other supplies where orders have to be put in well in advance. It's a bit of a guessing game over have I got the right numbers? I've got too little, too many. In that respect, having that flexibility to do that, but at the price point that they've been able to do it at, means everyone's winning. And in terms of the biggest deal, it's the level of service and the level of the quality of the gear that we can provide.
Hopefully, if we get that service, I'm sure we will. I think that'll absolutely go a long way with supporters and fans, because I think the past couple of years with Elgrin, I think that has been a little bit of a frustration of supporters out there. In terms of on the night then, at the bottom of the article, it does say there will be a few surprises. Is Derek going to be here?
No.
No.
I can confirm
Right, okay.
I can confirm because it's something that he's mentioned today. And again, tip my hat.
Yeah.
He's actually said he's not, because the night should be about Widnes Vikings. He doesn't want any of the kind of obvious controversy or just
media storm that you get
just
from
deflection
things like that.
of attention. What he's saying is that night is about launching this new kit that I do genuinely believe is everyone will love and like, and he wants the full attention to be about that and the club. That doesn't mean there isn't a Bowman sprinkling.
Right, okay. I knew there'd be something.
Yeah. But I'd struggle to find anyone that won't like it.
So is the message then, get yourself down to the DCBL for the kit launch?
Dead right, totally. Come down here, get involved in what we're trying to do, and get this kit seen for the first time.
100%. I'm totally with you on that one. Moving on to fixtures then. I must be honest, when I put this out, it was by far the most mentioned topic. So I've collated a few things here that kind of cover a lot of bases, really. The fixtures come out. The first 9 games, only 3 at home. Obviously, you're chucking a bye week as well. I appreciate last year, you wasn't here, Tim, to see kind of what happened with the fixtures at the start of the season, but it was obviously a massive challenge for the club in terms of keeping support. And we had that Warrington game in the middle, which, I don't think it was any secret. It was very difficult to manage the books, and that Warrington game did a lot of favours in terms of bringing in income and revenue. Did the club, when that fixture drafts come out, did the club have an opportunity to push back? Because this is almost kind of a mirror image problem we faced from last year.
So again, yes, we do. We do have that opportunity to kick back. The obvious issues this year as well have been the uncertainty around fixtures, the uncertainty of the structure, pitch availabilities, both for us and other teams. There's a lot of cajoling and moving of fixtures, I believe, and the RFL had made the fixtures work. Now, yes, as a board, they have challenged a few of the fixtures and changed a few. But you wouldn't be a fan if you're not looking at those fixtures worried about that, is what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
On the flip side, last year we were the team with the best away record, so that bodes well for us. And in terms of, we often have to just deal with the cards we're dealt. And I know that sounds like a really cop-out answer, but we can sit and moan about, but the reality is we're going to have to play these teams away at some point. The challenge for us as a club is now making the attraction of coming to the game something that, we keep the enthusiasm going. And that is the big challenge. Because on the flip side, as much as we've got those number of fixtures away, we also then have a run of home games to then build some momentum as well. So, yeah.
I suppose last year we didn't have that general manager link. Obviously, that's your role now. Imagine when them fixtures have come out, I suppose that's a massive part of your job, isn't it? To be proactive of what we can do with these up and coming home games. And I suppose as well, longer time between home games, it's more time to plan events in and around the stadium. Match day experience has been mentioned by a lot of people that needs to improve. So I suppose that gives you time to implement things for a match day for supporters coming in.
Totally. And from a really personal point of view, this is a personal feeling. This is not the club. When you have to say, I just want to make it clear, this is personal. I'm pleased we're away for that first game. All right? Because
interesting.
Exactly what you've just said, it means that our first home game is the 1st of Feb. Yeah. Right? In terms of when these fixtures have been released, for definite, an amount of time to plan, that extra little bit of time to plan and get me match day experience right for my home supporters is actually quite nice. That's a personal preference. I also think, regardless of the team we're playing, that first game of a season is kind of hit and miss. It's the first time everyone's really on the track. It's the time that if you ever were to catch a team cold, it's when you catch them, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? The fact that it's London, I think, offers quite an exciting opportunity for us.
And we have previous last year, obviously travelling away to Toulouse, and we got the job done, didn't we?
Exactly, and that's not to say we need to hit a team call. I don't want people reading into things. Yeah. What I'm saying is that first game is often a lottery in any league. Yeah. I don't think the first game in essence is all that concerning, but you're right. You know, a run of away fixtures for any team at any time is a concern. Yes, they were challenged. We are where we are. It's now about us being the best we can be in the opportunities we've got.
Absolutely, and I think that takes me on well to the next question, because I think I'm going to know what your answer is, to be honest. But what do you make of the league structure? There's been a lot of noise around it. I think what you're going to say is probably we can't make excuses. We've got to get on with it. But briefly, I suppose, without saying too much, what do you think of the whole situation?
What as
in how the league is structured?
If I'm here as a professional in terms of my role within Widnes Vikings, it's totally what you said. We've bought a ticket. We've got to play the game. If I'm talking from a personal perspective, I think it's confusing. Yeah. I also think, and hindsight is also is a commodity that often, gets overlooked. But if you look at from fixture announcement to where we are today and the uncertainties in some of the teams that have happened since, you then look at it and you go, oh, well, if we'd have just left everything as it was, 2 leagues and promotion and relegation, would we have had an easier model to sell? I don't know the answer. Again, it's hindsight. But as a fan, they're the types of feelings. But like I say, it is where it is. And I'm not saying that people are wrong to waste their energy, to put their energy there and complain. But I can't afford that, because if I spend my time there, it's taking my time away from what I can provide fans on match day experience and moving forward. So we bought the ticket, we're in it, we're all here for that. Could it be better? I think personally it possibly could, but luckily that's above my pay grade. Again,
I suppose the message is then, isn't it, like, first home game, make sure you're here, back the lads.
Ultimately, what do we all want to do? We all want to see a Widnes team winning. We all want to come and watch a game of rugby. Well, regardless of league structure, that's what we can all do, and we've all got. So let's get down here. Let's make this place a place people want to come on a weekend and have a good time.
The last bit on the fixtures, obviously there's been some really difficult news come out about Salford this week. We more than most clubs can sympathise with them, and it's terrible, and I don't want to spend too much time asking about it. But have the club been liaising with the RFL about the potentially not being a fixture there to fulfil? Obviously that does come into a cost for season tickets, things like that. Is there ongoing communication with that?
The conversation lines are open, and yes, they're ongoing. I will firstly say, I am so sorry that it has come to that. Having experienced things similar to that, from a staff, player, fan point of view, you wouldn't wish it on any club and any team. Yes, the conversation is open. At the minute, the fixture is in the calendar and is remaining in the calendar until it's otherwise cleaned up, determined what the future looks like. And that's how we have to address it. Again, a little bit like your previous question, we bought the ticket, we're in the race. So that's it. That's how it goes. If something else changes down the line, we just need to adapt and overcome. That's it.
Brilliant. Just moving on to a bit of a general chat now. a bit of recruitment questions have come in. 26 players was kind of the word that was bandied around. We've got 26. Somebody did pick up in an interview, Stuart did, about the number being mentioned of 27.
27.
Was that a slip of the tongue, or is there somebody going to be coming in?
Now, as a Marvel fan who loves an Easter egg being dropped in a teaser, it was brilliant if it was meant on purpose. The reality is, he just got his number wrong, I think.
Well, there you go.
So
that's that mystery solved. Then, isn't it?
There's that mystery solved. No, in terms of recruitment, no, there's not some secret hidden signing about to come kind of out of the woodwork.
Maybe he counted Jay Chappell out twice. Maybe he thought Ted was there as well.
Ted had rolled in with him.
Yeah.
There is some under 18s that have been training with us, and I think that was potentially what threw him off in terms of numbers, because when you're then looking at numbers of people at training and trying to provide training kit, I think that's what threw him off, just to clear that up without going into detail there. But that's also not to say that Alan hasn't got his finger on the pulse in terms of recruitment and loans coming in. That, he is still on the lookout in that regard. So it is not that, I don't want to make this sound like, no, it's 26, it's locked off, we are where we are. That is still always going on. But no, the slip of the tongue wasn't a little kosher nudge.
So we got 26 players, but there is potential room in the budget to bring more in if Alan wants that.
I'm going to say yes, there is. I've got probably several board members that are sweating now.
Yeah.
But no, what I'm saying is, never say never.
Yeah.
Always stay on the lookout.
Yeah.
And we'll see what the future holds.
The last one just on recruitment. Obviously, halfway through last year, Morgan McWhirter come in. Ben Condon come in, who's obviously since left. He's gone to Catalan Dragons. Jake Mason at the club, but of course, he was already on these shores. Are the club looking overseas? Are they still on board to do that going forward? Is it still an avenue that we're looking at?
Yes. Great question. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brilliant. That's a good one. I'm sure that will be one that people will be pleased to hear about.
What I will say is,
I know a lot goes into that side of things.
There's a lot goes into it.
Bringing in a player at a club. There's living arrangements. There's visas. There's different visas.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. But yes, that's it. The club is still open to that, and I personally have got a lot of strong links in Australia, and a lot of people who have, since I've been back, have reached out saying, "Oh, if we can help in any way, we will." Many former players.
I can imagine.
One of which is very invested within the club itself, and in the future, let's hope that this can bear more fruit. Yeah, I'll say that.
That's really positive.
I'll drop that Easter egg.
And I will not squeeze you anymore. That's a great answer. Thank you very much. Season tickets.
Yeah.
Where are we at in terms of numbers, firstly?
Yeah, so we are slightly down on where we were last year. We are just short of the 1,000 mark at the minute, which is slightly down on last year. However, I will caveat that with last year a league structure was confirmed well in advance. And there's been the uncertainty around that. So I put that down to that. I put that down probably maybe to a little bit of experience from last year. And that's kind of my job to try and make that better.
About last time we did one of these, we was with Rolty in Brew Lane. And we were speaking about the packages and the corporate side of things. There was obviously at the time a lot of questions he couldn't answer because he just walked through the door.
Yeah.
How are we in terms of sponsorship and packages? Because obviously season tickets, massive way of bringing money into the club. Packages, sponsors, exactly the same.
So this is my exciting news. So from the back of the business breakfast that we launched, it showed that the value of having that a collection of people together and selling the vision and selling the dream. Commercially, we are on with packages. I'm a big believer in having. I was brought up in the Harold Linsky days, for all those listening, that used to walk in his office and he would just have a big whiteboard on the wall with every match that he needed to sell out, every man of the match needed, every ball sponsor, and he'd just go along ticking them off and he'd fill you in on everything. Not quite that primitive.
We're not there yet.
We're not quite there, but we are at the point of saying, like, how many games have we got? How many man of the matches do we need? And let's go after it and let's get selling it. And once you start the balance, what's happening is they're knocking over. So commercially, Dave Rolt is doing a great job at going out, listening to people, listening to what they want and finding the package that meets their needs, and people are signing up.
And not blowing smoke up your old Dave, who I like you both a lot, but that's the beauty of having Widnes people in this club, isn't it? It's people, it matters, it's the extra, isn't it? And, you know, at the end of the day, the enthusiasm drives that and it rubs off on other people, I think, to secure them packages. Yeah,
I think you've said it right, it matters. And it certainly, to myself and Dave, it matters what people think about the product that we're putting out there. And neither of us are prepared to overpromise. Yeah. We will do our very best to over-deliver. But at the same time, we know times we will get it wrong. Yeah. But we'll tell you we'll get it wrong and we will make up for it. So, you know, it's listening to people, and it's also matching up. What do you want as a company coming to a game? And let us find a package that suits you and suits who you are as a business and who you are as a person, and really make you feel like, oh, Dave's big one is he wants people to come to a game this year and walk away going, yeah, it was a good game. But you know what they did? It's the little details, it's the little touches, it's the little moments, and hopefully we've already put huge plans in place, but yeah, hopefully 100%. You'll notice them.
That's a brilliant answer, to be fair. Just on match day tickets, now there's historically for a number of seasons now there's been a lot of noise about the price point of tickets for walk-ups on a match day. We've had meetings where we've discussed about the season ticketing structure. Could we be a little bit more flexible rather than just being as rigid as what it is? Is there any information you can give surrounding A, the price points on a match day, and B, anything else within?
Anything else flexible wise. So we obviously want to incentivise the season ticket heavily. We want to incentivise that. I mean, I don't think it's any great secret that kind of off-season season ticket sales are often what keep clubs going in terms of revenue and income. So we want to maximise the attractiveness of a season ticket. What we have been very aware of, thanks to Vikings Voice as much as anyone else, is that me as a fan looking, I'm certainly with a dad of 2 kids, I can't commit to every game. Yeah. And therefore, the season ticket isn't that attractive to me if I can only make a couple or a handful of games for definite, and I might do a 1 or 2 extra. So under kind of tutelage and guidance, we are looking at creating that flexi ticket offering for those people that, you know, will know they'll come a couple of games the year. We want to incentivize that, but won't become. So we are, the flexi ticket is something that is in the plans and is very imminent.
And it's not just this, the flexi season ticket either, is it? You've shown how flexible you want to be and finding learnings about crowds, about putting games in on different days as well, to offer potentially people who are in work on a Sunday afternoon at 3:00, seeing if we can get a rise in attendances on a Friday or a Saturday as well.
That's it. And it's all about kind of playing and experimenting, isn't it? And unfortunately, like UK British weather, you can't always rely on the weather either. But because ideally, you would say like Saturday, tea time, sunny after the game, you have a good game, you then carry on the evening into something. But it's about playing around with things. Yeah. A Friday night, I think, opens up potential more corporate options.
Yeah.
People will finish work and then bring people to the game. Yeah, it's about playing with it, but it's about what you've just said there, tracking it and then taking the learnings from it to then inform us next year moving forward.
I thought the most difficult question I got sent in was, most direct questions, should I say, was highlighting the fact that you spoke a lot about the Northwest Corner and building a legacy. What is your strategy around that?
Yeah, so the Northwest Corner, I've kind of said that's the point at which I think I'm doing okay when that's open again. I've heard that at one point in the season we opened it for away fans. I've heard, why don't we put all of the fans just in there? And I think kind of that's a bit of a loophole of me saying it's all right if I just shove all the fans down and get them in the Northwest Corner. And I also think in terms of a visual and necessarily viewing position for the game, it's not the best. So ultimately the answer is easy. I get more people in the North Stand, I have to open the Northwest Corner. How are we going to get more people in the North Stand? That's the thing. So the strategy is schools, it's community clubs, it's the different age of our fan base. I believe that there's a lot of people now within Widnes, that aren't coming to the game that are around my age, that are the people with young families that aren't coming. How do we now target them and go after them? So that ultimately is the strategy. So there is several prongs to it. The big one being getting groups engaged with the club, not going after individuals, groups, hence the community club season ticket that we're offering. That has been, we've had updates tonight. There's been a great take up from community clubs, getting those people to see that this is when we all come together, we meet together at the game, and the game becomes that group ethos, and that'll be the big key, I believe, in getting that place pumping.
I think as well, rugby league in general, not just this club, it's about obviously showcasing our people we've got, as in our players, our stars, but as people as well. I think there's been a lot of great work on social media with players specifically going to presentation nights, but there's other work going on as well. One thing that hasn't been put out on socials yet that happened only last night was a party that some of the women's team and the men's team went to. Dan Murray, Tom Gilmore was there, Jenny Moss, Amy Ward, Sarah Jones from the women's team. And actually, when you speak to them people that went to them events, they wasn't just turning up for a service. They absolutely love doing it as well, and it's building off the back of that, isn't it? And we're actually at a point now where I don't think I'm stepping out the turn of some of them players are actually banging on your door to go to the next event. I think that's fantastic, personally.
It's brilliant. And I don't know if you've seen, we put a video out today of the under-19s coming in for their first session. And there was a presentation Alan did, and Alan made a very valid point of, we're Widnes Vikings. It's not Widnes Vikings first team, it's not Widnes Vikings women's team, it's not Widnes Vikings LDSL. It's Widnes Vikings, we're all here. That last night was an example of that. Several of the squad members coming together, creating a feeling within a room that, was untouchable. It was golden. I've got Dan Murray dancing on a dance floor, which I never thought I would ever see. Tom Gilmore wasn't so much.
You won't forget it either, Dan. I'll be quick to point it out. I've seen the videos.
That's it. But they're genuinely creating moments, back to what I was saying about Dave Rolt, creating moments for fans that they will remember. And that is what it's about. Having those key moments that then people are more likely, and it's about enriching the people of the town. The next time that those people hear Dan Murray's name, oh yeah, he came to our disc. That's what it's about. Creating that feeling in the town that we are proud of Widnes Vikings. It's what it's about. Everything else, once we get that right, will come off the back.
No, that's brilliant, and I totally agree. Tim, it's been a pleasure. I'll leave you with the last words to the supporters. The kit launch, what's your final message? And I've personally enjoyed it, and I think we're going to look to do these on a regular basis, certainly when the season starts. But what's your message to the fans ahead of the kit launch?
So the very easy answer would be everyone come down and get involved. My honest personal answer to everyone out there is thank you. And we are listening. Hopefully these types of things that we're doing and we're looking to do more of, we're listening to you, and we're genuinely, within our best efforts, trying to implement things that will drive this club forward. I see the role I'm in, and I know I can speak for Dave Rolt on this. It is a privilege and yet a real responsibility. And we are only here for a finite time, and we want to drive this club forward. And so, yes, come and support. Thank you for supporting. But we see you, we hear you, and we're there to make this club great again.
Absolutely. Couldn't put it better myself. Thank you.